quotation. I wanna scream from the top of my lungs. I won't stop when the morning comes, and I won't stop till the next day's night. Not till I get it right. Get it right, get it right. Get it right, play it cool. Not till I get it right. Get it right, make you dance. Get it right, like a fool.
And here we are post-show with Moondoggy now, loading up the trunk, getting ready to go to, where are you guys playing next, guys?
We are going to Nashville, Tennessee.
I'd say you guys played a fantastic show tonight. I want to talk about the new album, which came out March 6th. I mean, fantastic. Tell me a little bit about it. How does it differentiate from your last two albums?
Probably better production, more time spent songwriting. Yeah, just more years spent together as a band, cohesive sound. I think we grew a lot between making the first two albums and when we made the third, and I think that's what made the sound better overall.
I think if you look at the first, it's definitely more of an indie rock sort of staple album, you know, per se. How would you describe this last one in terms of a general sound or a general genre per se?
I don't know, like we kind of like to be as genreless as we can be. If we had to put it somewhere, I'd probably just call it alternative. You know, all the bands that I'm the most inspired by are in that lane. I think it's sometimes like a cloak word for, you know, somebody who doesn't really know what genre they fall into. So yeah, I'd say alternative.
So Jake, tell us a little bit, you guys last played in North Carolina. How do you think Eddie's Attic kind of differentiates from a gig like that?
It's a different vibe, different arrangement to the room. There's some things that were super cool, like the bleachers in Eddie's Attic were super cool. So you have like these pockets of, you know, dance floor over here, tables in the front, bleachers in the back, which is something that we haven't seen in many or any other venues while we've been on the road. So it's refreshing and it's nice.
And if you guys had to talk a little bit about your openers, you like them? I mean, how do you guys think that that sort of differentiation between kind of a more melancholic vibe and more of a positive kind of very uplifting kind of music, how do you think that works in the long run per se?
Yeah, I mean, those guys are great. They're great musicians, first of all. They're a good hang and they're pros on the road. It's like both of our, you know, first year really touring, so we're both figuring it out at the same time, and they're doing a great job. And I'd say in terms of sound, I think it's a great thing that, you know, we differ a little bit, but genre-wise it fits, because it gives people a night where they're not listening to, you know, the same thing sonically for 2 hours. They get a little taste of this and a little taste of us, and hopefully they leave the night feeling like, okay, we got a good mix. Yeah.
I completely agree. And in this sense, I mean, you guys are originally from Canada, from Toronto, I mean, and they're from Seattle. I mean, how do you guys feel, especially as an immigrant, might I add, you know, how do you guys feel kind of working within the U.S., you know, what do you see, where's the differentiation with the crowds? I mean, how do you guys feel about the touring life within the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, so far it's been all positive. We've met only amazing, welcoming, beautiful people everywhere we've gone. It could be that we've ran into, you know, the right people at the right place and we're just dumb luck. But every single person we've met has been welcoming, has been kind. Venue staff to people on the street to, you know, everywhere. People serving us food. Everybody's nice and wants to know who we are and what we're doing. So far it's been really positive, really fun.
In this sense, I mean, we're speaking kind of a little bit about the band in general, right?
Yes.
And you guys released a new album going back to that. I mean, the US, whatever, is nice. But you guys, I thought originally were 4 members. You have, of course, Matthew, who's fifth, the bassist, no?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, you know, you have a brother, of course, in the band. And
yeah, this guy right here.
Over here.
Oh,
right?
no, that's Johnny.
No, that's Johnny, the guitarist.
He's my brother, too.
We're all brothers.
We're all brothers in a different sense, you know?
Frank's my brother, too.
Yeah, I'm Jake's brother as well. Honorary brother, exactly. That's what we're saying. But in this sense, I mean, how do you guys come around working between 5 guys? How do you guys come around to making something like that?
You know, I don't know if I can explain exactly how it happens, which is kind of why I love
Confidential.
it. Confidential. Yeah, there's no trade secret. There's no, this is how it works. It's just we've been together for, some of us 7 years, some of us 5 years, with Matt coming up on a year. This group just gels really well, and we're able to get in a room and create stuff. And there's not always a, concrete reason why we're able to do it, but it works really well. I think it's a matter of, just like spending enough time in a room together, being friends first and foremost, and, trusting each other that we're all going to put our best part
I suppose I could have talked to change your mind. It could have been a waste of time. But I'm alright, 'cause I got mine. You probably won't know what that's like. It's a crooked smile, you feel right in, but I won't fall for that. 'Cause you always get your way. Sweet my love, don't let me wear my two blame. Sweet my love, it's always like you say, not to know. Let's go our separate ways. Sweet my love.
Jake, if I were to ask you, non-related musical words, how would you describe the sound of Around the Fire?
Just one?
In a genre, per se. If we had to box it into a genre with non-musical words, how would you describe it?
Fun, introspective, and I'm going to hyphenate this one. Something for everyone.
Something for everyone, you think so? Yeah. What is the goal for the band in the next 3, 5, 10 years? What do you guys see yourselves?
I think the overarching goal is keep having fun. As long as this is fun for us, that's the main priority. Where we see ourselves is, hopefully after this tour, we're playing bigger stages, coming back and hitting some cities that we didn't get around to on this tour or on the July tour. I hope we're on the road and happy and healthy.
Now, again, Moondoggy was out of this world. I mean, it was fun, it was interesting, it was a sound that perhaps we try to hear on a common basis, but is not perhaps so well achieved. What do you think is the success to working between 5 guys? Perhaps, what is the success? What is the magic behind that?
Hard work. I'd say, having no willingness to give up. I think if you want to be in the arts and if you want to make music, I think that, you need to be your biggest fan and be your biggest supporter and just keep going.
Right.
Make sure that you're looking out for yourself and your best interest. And as long as you love what you're making, people are probably going to love hearing it.
If Moondoggy were a movie, were a film, what would you call the film?
This is a Johnny and Victor question. If Moondoggy were a film, the story of Moondoggy or the band, what would you call the film? The story of Moondoggy. What would the film be called? And I'm going to add a sub-question. Who would be cast for all of us?
I think that's a very good question.
Okay, Victor's Danny DeVito.
Victor's Danny DeVito.
John's Matthew McConaughey. Johnny Contini is Matthew McConaughey.
I've got 2026 Jonah Hill.
Nice. Matt? No, Paul Rudd. Or Jack. Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Yeah.
And of course, I'd be Brad Pitt, obviously.
We would all have to be Brad Pitt, eh? I'm Javier Bardem. I think Rem over there, tell by an exotic Michael Fassbender. I give him something like that. Michael Fassbender Rem, no? Something like that. I think that'd be a fantastic. Yeah, definitely.
Name of the film.
How would you call it, Victor?
All grown up and moved out.
All grown up and moved out. How old are you, Victor?
I'm 28.
Hey, all grown up and moved out by this time, above that, we would hope so, no? Over here, the agent / manager.
He had a good idea.
What was it?
Invasion from the north.
Invasion from the north.
Hi, I'm Jake Matanowicz. I play guitar and I sing in the band Moondoggy. And my biggest inspiration would probably be Neil Young.
'Cause I'm so in love with you, I want to hear you. Okay, over here.
I'm Ben. I play sax and
Very well, by the way.
thank you for shit.
Of course.
And guitar. And I'd say Black Keys, probably. Yeah, probably.
It's pretty cool. Over here, Johnny.
I'm Johnny. I play guitar in Moondoggy, and I think my biggest inspiration for the band would probably be the Guess Who.
Guess Who?
The Guess Who.
I've never heard of the Guess Who. I've heard of the Who. I've heard of Guess.
They're Canadian. They're Canadian.
The Canadian. Over here, Matthew.
I'm Matt. I play bass. And my inspiration is Jake.
Jay.
Bueno, yo soy Víctor, soy baterista de Moondoggy y yo diría que mi mayor influencia como baterista sería John Bonham.
John Bonham. Who do you think, if I had to say Neil Peart, Keith Moon, John Bonham, who do you say?
John Bonham.
Victor. That's fantastic. So if we had to ask a question in terms of 5 to 10 years, even 3, where do we see the band, guys?
Royal Albert Hall.
Royal Albert Hall. Hey, Cream.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah, Massey Hall in Toronto.
Let's go.
I'm gonna say Matthew Hall too. That's a good.
Yeah, Massey Hall. I wouldn't complain.
Ben.
Matthew Hall.
Massey Hall. So we've got one British Royalist and the rest are Canadian. So this is, that's fantastic. We say a very big thank you to Moondoggy for this fantastic interview. I mean, you guys were spectacular. We're gonna roll some clips from Moondoggy right now, and we're so thankful to them, to Elizadek again, and we'll see you next time. Very big goodbye. Thank you, Elizadek. Vamos!